Hey guys, sup, Ready here for the Yu-Gi-Oh! Welcome to Tech Tuesday. And I know I just want to quickly address a few things before we get into Soul Release here. And then Different Dimension Ground. And Karma Cut. Can't leave out Karma Cut. This is triple edition. Alright, so I haven't been answering comments because I've been a little bit busy with the spectrum of what life is, pretty much. A bunch of BS that's going around in the background. And second channel stuff. So basically, second channel will be announced at another time, probably on a coffee time channel along those lines. It's going to be a totally different direction than Yu-Gi-Oh! And the Yu-Gi-Oh! Council will still go on as it's been going on, not sound that way. I'm actually going to be getting separate everything for that channel so that way it can stand alone on its own and we don't get into the problem we did when we tried launching a second channel last time, which was Minecraft, and that didn't go over so well. So let's talk about Soul Release. It was pretty damn popular at the Nationals, and I have something else this week coming up for you guys. The two somethings. I just gently moved the table. I have two somethings coming up for you guys this week, and I don't want to say what they are because big surprises and stuff. I didn't get no IRL duels yesterday because I forgot most of my extra deck. So we're gonna be working on that. Just be patient with us. We gotta get back into speed of things, into the speed of things. Now, let's talk about Soul Release here. It was very popular, and the reason why is because it could be 5 cards from either player's graveyard, and that's great. It's super old, super common, super easy to get, should have a holo release at some point. Pretty standard. What are the cons of this card? There basically has to be 5 cards. Collectively, that means your graveyard, your opponent's, and that's just to use it. You I cannot stress this enough, can use it on your own graveyard and then do stupid stuff with that. So pretty much for points on like Dragon Rulers, which top again at Nationals, then you could pretty much just get your searches and put them back in the graveyard at a later time with Different Dimensional Burial or something along those lines, or Necroface. Something to keep in mind about Soul Release is that it's kind of slow. Now, some people will go, well, Lightsworns need 4 in the graveyard, and this disrupts them, and you could use 3, so that way you can constantly get it. I understand that. That's good. This, the Alloyed Justice, the one that looks like a spider, I forgot its name. There's that, and there's also DD Crow. DD Crow is still great. So, it kind of outweighs to the preference of what you actually want to run with it. So now, I'm just going to jump ship and basically talk about Karma Cut. Karma Cut is a trap card, as you're seeing now, and you can discard 1 card, banish 1 card. So pretty much, I think it's 1 monster. I don't have it physically in front of me, just can't stress that enough either. It outweighs Phoenix Wind Wind Blast. It's a great option if you're not big into using Phoenix Wind Wind Blast. It's also a great option if you're not into running Raigeki Break. Both of those are pretty good tech cards, but this is also another one that always gets pretty much shafted. Kind of just thrown to the side, no one mentions it. But it does still carry those same problems that if Wiretap's active, or Trap Sun's active, or Royal Decree, it's going to fail you. That's just a thing. It's in the same class as Raigeki Break, Phoenix Wind Wing Blaster, so if you have something like Mizuki, or Vayu, or just something that you want to throw, into the graveyard and not have to worry about, even a Minerva, see, little Minerva, use it in the mirror match, banish, boom, pow, wow, done. I just went crazy when I said that. I also want to touch upon that the World's List has been mentioned, and I have something coming out not tomorrow, but the day after that we'll be having a full-on thing about that. I think most people know what it is. I've been talking about it for 3 weeks. But that's a thing. Let's see. What else can we talk about Karma Cut? If it's set, it's MST bait, just like Phoenix Wind Wind Blast, Raigeki Break, but they were popular choices. They always are. Raigeki Break. Karma Cut always gets kind of shafted, even though it's the better of the 3. Yeah, I just went there. I mean, Phoenix Wind Wind Blast, if we're talking about everything on the board, it's going to be better because you just stack your opponent's card. But if you want to completely get rid of the threat, use it over Raigeki Break. The only reason most people use Raigeki Break over Karma Cut is because it's easier to get Raigeki Breaks than it is Karma Cut. Because Karma Cut, I believe, only had 1 or 2 printings. So it's not... It's cheap, it's easy to get if you eBay it. But if you're like looking to trade it, it may be a little bit difficult to find it that way. So that's something to keep in mind if any of this interests you during the video. And that's why I always mention it. I mean, if they Malcat it, you could chain it. It's not a counter card. It's just straight, vanilla trap. There's nothing wrong with that. But there's nothing spectacular. Because Trap Stun, Wiretap, these are all things that counter it, Ryu. These are all things that are horrific about it. I mean, it does take out Ophion. You could chain it to the Pandemic. It does take out Christia. It does take out Majesty's Fiend, which is starting to see a little more play. It takes out Angel 07, which still sees some play, moderate. It takes out Judgment Dragons for Dace. I may be forgetting part of its effect. I believe something like along the lines, if there's more copies, then you banish those two. I'm not fully sure, hence why I'm not mentioning it, but I'll put it in the description if it is. Just so no one can kill me about how I mention that kind of thing. You know, I don't want anyone getting the wrong idea. I just don't have it in front of me right now. I don't have it on my cell phone in front of me, so don't kill me when I say that. But I feel like I've said enough about it for you guys to understand the pros and cons, so we're going to jump on the final card, which is Different Dimension Ground, which I'm super amped to talk about. Final card, Different Dimension Ground. A little bit of a theme going on right now with removing everything from your graveyard because it's fun. I can't stress this enough. Cannot stress this enough. We are in a 2-month format. We're going to buy very quickly. You can use this for when they basically get the artifact into the graveyard. You chain this, and then you say, you go bye-bye instead, and you know, hit graveyard, you get removed. This also works against Lightsworn, Shaddolls, pretty much everything that's going to rely on the graveyard in any which way, even Satella Knights, which sounds kind of crazy, but it does. A little bit, not much. If Frog Monarchs were to make an appearance, this trap card just poops on them. Because every time they try to put Treeborn Frog in, it goes bye-bye. The Frog OTK deck, that top Nationals, that goes bye-bye too. You don't get Frog set up. They still have Sea Lancer to use. The reason I'm pausing is I'm sipping, my throat is sore as a motherfucker. So, Lightsworn, let's talk about that matchup. They summon Christia, we're talking about Pure Storm. Or they go to Curry Bandit for Dragon Ruler Lightsworn, and you go end phase. You play Different Dimension Ground, all those cards will be banished out instead, which basically means, if I'm not mistaken, they could still get the spell card, but everything else just gets banished instead. So, you know, that's something to keep in mind. They can't, if you basically flip it before they go into an attack, they can't drop the Honest on you. It works real nice against Bujin if you want to talk right now too. You know, say right now, this moment, besides Lightsworn, what else can I use it against? It also works against Infernities, and Infernities are a thing now, apparently, as Nationals. Works against Mermels. Works against anything with graveyard setup. Zombies, Sylvans, Shaddolls. I know people hate when I mention Shaddolls constantly. Or just anyone in general who mentions Shaddolls, I understand that. That's not the point of why we mention Shaddolls. We're trying to get you guys prepared so that way, you know, oh my god, Shaddolls tier 0, they're so broke. We don't want to go into that situation again. I don't think anyone does. But there's a lot of popular decks running around right now. They can pretty much go down the national list and say, you, and you. Dragon Rulers get really hit by this because they don't have nothing in the graveyard to banish off their Curry Bandit. Or that random freaking, what was it? The Dark Creator deck that was going around for a little while. This is a poop on it too. Some of the minuses and the cons of this card: Dark Bride, Night Beam, MST, Malcat, Trap Stun, Wiretap. That's pretty much standard for all trap cards in the game right now. And that's not really anything that's gonna, you know, say, oh my god, I can't use it. Oh, they try to steal a monster from you that you need, you know, like Mizuki. You could flip this up and say, Duke Oil Guardian, you're not getting it. So that's something to keep in mind too. Flexibility wise, it does carry. I'm a big fan of this card. I know someone suggested this in Karma Cut. I want to say thank you. I don't remember who. I really don't. I'm sorry. My mind is elsewhere. I tend to forget things. Let me just quickly mention that if you guys have anything that has been yet to feature on Tech Tuesday, then leave it in the comments below, and I promise you we will definitely cover it, because you guys help make the council what it is. And sometimes I get a little bit quiet and like on my own, and I just upload and not talk to you guys. Nothing personal. Always constantly thinking about the council. I'm never going to leave it. That's pretty much the game plan. But just because I want to branch out, I don't want anyone going, oh my god, he's leaving the council. No. Not happening. Not anytime soon. One of the other cons to this card, though, while we're on this subject, is it has to be set, which is typical trap card, and then you could just, you know, DD Crow's a little bit faster. But with DD Crow, you only get to hit the one, and DD Crow is better for saying hitting Eclipse Wyverns, and this is better for a roll when you're sending multiple cards to the graveyard. That's always something to keep in mind, is that you want to use this at the right time, just pretty much like everything in a side deck. You want to be ready for everything you're going to come across. There are multitudes of decks that get hurt by this really badly. Chaos Dragons are one of them. And there are multitudes of decks that get unharmed by it, such as Stun, TG, wait, no, TG does get hurt by it because it's not sent to the graveyard, it's banished instead. What the hell am I saying? It does get hurt by it. I was wrong, I admit it. Fire Kings get hurt by it, so Scraps. Oh, you that's cute. You want to destroy yourself? Go ahead, please. You go bye-bye. No setup for you. But I think that's pretty much going to be the end of today's video. You let me know what you think of these 3 cards in the comments below. And I just want to quickly say thank you for the continued support, especially when times are a little bit bad for me. Not sound that way. Kind of are right now, but we'll bounce back. So, I also want to quickly mention that tomorrow is stock market. If you don't know what stock market is, it's on the channel. And because if you don't know what it is and you're new to the channel, if you enjoyed the video, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Just high-five it. And if you enjoyed the video, know if you did, hit that like button. And finally, I know it's annoying, I have a lot of things to say. If you have a deck request or anything you haven't seen on the council that you would like to see on the council, leave it in the comments below and I promise you I'll get to it. And finally, you thought I was going to say share? I'm going to say share, but I also want to say that I will answer all your comments in due time. It's just having a little bit of a, I don't want to call it family crisis, but more of a preparing for a little bundle of joy that's coming out a little bit earlier than she should. But thank you guys again for watching and the continued support. Long live the council! And anyway, I'm ready for the TheYugiohCouncil. I'm a little eccentric at times and hope you enjoyed the video. Tomorrow will be stock market. That's a 100% guarantee. And I will see you then. Well, I'll see you in the next video, which will probably be stock market. But, bye. Peace.